Hey everybody, and welcome back to Droobz Vids, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Goblin Slayer Figma. Today we're going to be taking a look at the silver ranked Goblin Slayer Figma, and this thing looks really awesome. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see this review, so I'm glad I'm finally able to do it. And yeah, this thing's going to be pretty awesome. So retail wise, for something like this, you're probably going to be looking at spending $80 plus for this particular Figma as of right now, time of the recording of this video. And for exactly what you get for the money in this, well, we'll see if it's worth it, right? So let's go ahead and start opening this guy up. And in the bottom here, of course, we have our instruction manual, and it seems pretty light here as far as instructions go. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, it doesn't seem like we get too many accessories, but the ones we do are probably going to be pretty high quality. So we'll go ahead and set that to the side for now in case we need it later. And I do have the Nendoroid version of Goblin Slayer, so if you guys haven't checked out the video, I'll leave a link in the description below, as well as a little card right here if you want to check that out. But yeah, let's go ahead and start getting into this figure. So this is it, Figma number 424. You don't get too much, you get your little bag here. I guess we'll go ahead and break into that in a minute. Set that to the side, but as far as our figure goes, let's see how it looks. Yeah, as you can see, you only get a shield, club, his sword. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure there. Not sure what else is going to be in that bag, probably some hand parts maybe, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Wow, the details on that are amazing. That looks really good. Paint is fantastic, really well done. Definitely an awesome looking figure. Wow. So taking a look at it straight out the box, we're going to see the points of articulation here, and we got his head that does move slightly side to side. His collar there kind of gets in the way. Can't move it up and down at all. And then you got shoulder rotation. As far as that goes, pretty decent. You do have these shoulder pads here that would potentially get in the way of making certain movements, but that's still good. Oh, and then right here underneath the shoulder at the upper arm, you do have a little bit of rotation there. And then at the elbow, you have a full joint, so you can pose it multiple directions. And then on the hand, you do have a ball joint that you can move it in different directions as well. So definitely pretty good there. As far as ab crunch goes, you get a decent amount of ab crunch, which I am a fan of seeing ab crunch on multiple figures just because it allows you to do more dynamic poses with your figures. It's pretty awesome. And then of course you can rotate the torso around just a little bit as well. Moving on down to the legs, at the upper thigh you do have rotation in the groin area, and then at the knees you have full on. Wow, that goes back pretty far right there. It's funny that it kind of looks like a Lupin type pose there. It's pretty good. But as far as the feet go, you do have articulation at the foot as well. Nothing in the toe on this particular figure, but you probably, oh actually you do have, yeah, it does kind of look like there's a joint here, but I can't seem to move it and I don't want to break it. I've been kind of trying to mess around with it, but yeah, definitely doesn't want to move. So if I'm doing something wrong, let me know in the comments below. But as of right now, I don't think you can move the toes. Definitely got some nice articulation, man. This metal work actually came out really good looking. They did a fantastic job with that metallic paint. That is really cool. Definitely some nice touches that they put all in the metallic. That is awesome. And this actually is on a ball joint as well, so you can move the tassel on the top of his helmet if you want to add to that dynamic pose, just that little extra touch that you need. Actually, now that I'm looking at the box here, it actually does look like the toe does move, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong here as far as the toe goes. I'll have to look into it a little bit further. But, maybe it's just really stiff because it is a brand new figure in my collection, so I might have to work it a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these accessories here. So first off, we got our Goblin Slayer's club, little beat club there to beat up some goblins, because that's what he likes to do. And then we got his broadsword and shield here, but taking a look at the sword first, he has to have a smaller bladed sword, so that way when he's inside caves or something like that, he will not hit the sides of the caves and won't get killed by goblins. So very smart man, and he knows what he's doing with goblins. And yeah, the paint on that just looks amazing. They did a really good job with that metallic. That's awesome. And the last thing we have is his shield here that looks beat to death, which is fine, because Goblin Slayer is known to have some pretty worn down armor and just dirty in general, because if you don't have some kind of nasty smell on you, you know, the goblins will be able to smell you from a mile away. So that way it kind of keeps him a little bit more attuned to the goblin sense of smell. Definitely a nice looking shield there, did great job on that. And you have the slots there where his arm could go right through it. Okay, so the last thing we have here is this accessories bag. Some tape on there, kind of stuck to everything. Let's go ahead and see what we have inside. Wow, so first of all, gotta get this tape off. Our first little item here is our Figma accessory bag. And if you guys didn't catch that Figma review of Guts from Berserk, I really do like these Figma bags, fantastic. Just for Figma, I wish they did Nendoroid bags like this too. I think that'd be really cool, but yeah, we got another one for our Goblin Slayer Figma. That's awesome. And then moving on here, we have our Figma base, which is gonna be needed for this particular figure. He doesn't have a cape or anything that holds him up, so yeah, we'll probably be needing that. And you know, if you're just doing pictures or whatever, you don't really need the base, just so it's a much cleaner looking picture. But if you're just planning on having it posed inside of your collection, definitely need that base. Of course, for that base there, we do have the stand, so we get them all set up on that here in a minute. But yeah, super easy to put in. You just push that in there, and there you go. You got the figure stand all set up, ready to go. Then here actually looks like we have a little extra peg for the stand, I guess in case we break it. I don't think my Guts came with that, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that is pretty nice to have actually, just in case you break that base. And it looks like we have a few extra hands down in here as well for holding things. We got some open hands as well as sword hands. So that's pretty cool. I think this might be the hand needed for the shield possibly, unless you just wrap it through his arm. Yeah, that probably won't work that well. But yeah, I guess you would just wrap it on the arm there. And then the sword hands, obviously you're going to use that if you have a sword in his hand. But the good thing is you don't have to have it in his hand, because he has a slot right here. They could drop the sword in just like that. And you can have him posed differently. So that's pretty cool. Last but not least, I'm just going to keep these in the bags here, but we got 2 extra pegs just in case we break something. There's a second one right here. Not too much for accessories as far as the Goblin Slayer Figma goes, but man, this thing looks awesome. All the little detail work that they added into it, the paint that they did, it just looks amazing. An amazing looking figure. And as soon as I figure out these feet, that'll be a lot better, but until then, this is still an awesome figure, and I don't know, maybe they're just really stiff. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit you guys with a few poses here, and I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah. Hold my breath and look up higher. Oh, take life by the horns. No, I won't let go. I was born to take it to the limit. Yeah. Somehow I will find the way.
So there you have it, folks. That was the Goblin Slayer Figma, and man, what can I say? This thing is cool. And you know what? I actually did figure out the toes here. You know, with all new figures, you're going to have to actually, you know, work some of the joints a little bit to make them work, because they will be stiff, but you got to be careful because you don't want to break them. And yeah, I got both of the feet to work now, so we're all good there. It just takes a little bit of extra effort sometimes, but it's all good. So our figure is up and running in premium condition, I could say, and yeah, this thing is awesome. It's no secret that I am a fan of Goblin Slayer. I know a lot of people didn't really like the anime per se, especially because the first episode, certain scenes in there, I guess you could say, were very off-putting. However, if you do watch past that, you're going to enjoy a fantastic anime. And it's funny because in the manga, that particular scene that a lot of people get put off by wasn't very long at all. It was really like just a couple panels on one page. But I just think that the animation added sounds and motion to it that did make it a lot more uncomfortable. So keep that in mind if you do watch Goblin Slayer. It's not for kids or the immature. So like I was saying earlier in the video, you can find this for around 80, 90 bucks. And do I think it's worth it at that price point? Absolutely, yes. I mean, just the paint of it, the dynamics, all the articulation, man. I had a lot of fun actually putting all the poses together for you guys there that you saw. And I mean, they just did a fantastic job with this Figma. This is awesome. And realistically, I would buy it again if I needed to. This is great. It's really, really awesome. I'm glad I finally got to be able to unbox this for you guys. Man, kind of sad it took so long now. I do have one more Goblin Slayer figure coming in. I ordered off of BBTS, and that'll be coming in hopefully next week. It's not a posable figure or action figure. It is a statue, and that will probably complete my Goblin Slayer set for now. Unless they do come out with another Figma or Nendoroid, probably picking that up. Speaking of Figmas and Nendoroids, I got plenty more reviews coming out for you guys. It's not limited to just Figma and Nendoroid. I got some fig arts to show you guys. Got some super action statues to show you guys. Oh snap, what? We still gotta break into that cloud bring arts. So yeah, definitely tons of content coming up for you guys. I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want some more content, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.